during 284 to 1240. This slide shows the Basilica of Saint Sophia located at Constantinople. This picture shows the interior of the former Basilica of Saint Sophia in Constantinople. This Basilica or Saint Sophia was named changed to the Hagia Sophia. Okay, this basilica was built by the Eastern Roman Emperor Justinian I in 537 as an Orthodox Christian cathedral. However, this basilica was converted into a mosque after the Ottoman Turk conquest in 1453. Learning objective 5. Learning objective. First, we will review how the Byzantine Empire continued the governing traditions of Greece and Rome. Second, we will examine the ways in which the Eastern Roman Empire completed its transition to become the Byzantine Empire. Number 3, I will explain how the Byzantine Empire coped, faced with medical challenges, bubonic plague changes, military changes, and cultural challenges. Number 4, we will review the Byzantine Empire's quick revival and accounts for its quick decline. Number 5, we will analyze the Kievan Rusi's conversion to Eastern Christianity. Okay. This map shows the Byzantine world. The red area shows the location of a Byzantine world in the globe. The red area includes Europe, Kievan Rus, Byzantine Empire, Byzantine claims in Europe, claims in Kievan Rus, claim in the Byzantine Europe very, very huge territory. Okay, contents of the table. Section 1, foundation of Byzantine governance. Section B, from East Roman Empire to the Byzantium Empire. Eastern Empire to Byzantium Empire. Section 3, the connections and the conflict in the Byzantine world. Section D, Byzantium's ascendancy and the decline. Section E, the Kievan roots connects to the Byzantine world. Today, current Russia starts from the Kievan Rus. Kievan Rus was homeland of current Russia. This slide summarizes the origins of the Byzantine Empire. Origins of Byzantine Empire. In 292, Western Roman Emperor Diocletian divided the Roman Empire into two parts. He decided that the Roman Empire was too huge. This huge Roman Empire could only be ruled effectively by splitting the whole Roman Empire into the two parts. Emperor Diocletian decided that separation in 324, Emperor Constantine reunited two parts, eastern part and western parts. In 330, Emperor Constantine built a new capital in the location of ancient Greek city, Byzantium. Byzantium was ancient Greek city. Byzantium area belongs to the Greeks in the ancient times. Byzantium was old Greek trading colony on that peninsula. In 336, 7, the death of Constantine, Emperor Constantine, resulted in the division between Eastern Roman Empire and Western Roman Empire. In 395, Roman Empire finally divided into two parts. In 610, Eastern Roman Empire officially became known as the Byzantine Empire. This is the summary of the Byzantine Empire. This map shows the barbarian, Germanic tribes, invasions against the Roman Empire, and the division of the Roman Empire during 200 to 600. There are too many variety of barbarian German tribes. France, Lombard, Goths, Vandals, Gauls, Ostrogoths, Visigoths, Saxons, etc. Okay. This map shows the division of Roman Empire after the death of Emperor Diocletian. Okay? Pink color represents the Western Empire. Green color represented the Eastern Empire. Okay. Constantinople, Byzantium was renamed as the Constantinople, capital city of Eastern Roman Empire. In 330, Emperor Constantine forced to move the new Roman capital city east to Constantinople. This Constantinople this location able to respond to the dangerous Germanic tribes. This location was closer to the rich Eastern Empire, and this location is very great for the trade, such as water and land. Dnieper River, Danube River is the second largest river in the Europe And the Danube River is the third largest river in the Europe. This capital city was located at the crossroad of the Europe and the Asia. Okay, one more time. Capital city was Constantinople, formerly Byzantium. The capital city of Eastern Roman Empire was changed to Byzantium in order to provide the political advantages, to provide the economic advantages, to provide the military advantages. This Byzantium was then renamed as Constantinople by the emperor Constantine. Lord of Constantine as follows: the seed of Byzantine Empire until the Ottoman, Turks conquest, preserve classical Greek-Roman culture. Second, Rome, center of trade. Were Lord of Constantinople. Okay. This map shows the Byzantine Empire. This Byzantine Empire, the location was crossroad for the trade connecting the Europe with Asia and Black Sea with Mediterranean Sea. Constantinople city. Okay? Capital city. Location of capital city. This map shows the military advantages of the Constantinople city. Military advantages. Military facility and other important facility. This map shows the military facility, governance facility, and church facility. Okay, section 1, the foundations of Byzantine governances. The emperors Constantine's handling, managing all the internal dispute within the Christian church merged into the political authority and spiritual authority. This Constantine's handling set the precedent that would guide the later Byzantine emperors. Constantine used Latin language, however, Greek language became the dominant language in the Byzantine Empire. Okay. Section 1. How and why did Emperor Constantine intervene in the affairs of Christian churches? A. Constantine and Christian church. Number 1. Arius teaching condemned as the heresy. Not tradition. Arius believed that God created Jesus Christ. Therefore, Jesus Christ was not equal with the God. Therefore, Emperor Constantine intervened. This conflict at the Council of Nicaea. This Council of Nicaea was provided in order to settle the controversy over the nature of the Jesus Christ. At these Nicaea meetings, councils, the parts believe, which is contrary to the church doctrine, was declared as the heresy. Emperor Constantine's convinced the ecumenical council in 325. The Emperor Constantine called the council in the city of Nicaea. Today, isn't it, in Turkey, in order to solve the controversy of Arabianism. At the Council of Nicaea, the Nicene Creed was adopted. The Nicene Creed provided that the statement of Orthodox faith of early Christian church in opposition to the certain heresies, especially Arianism. Arianism was determined as a heresy at the Nicene Creed. Okay, this map 10-1 shows the early Byzantine Empire around 481. Green color representing the Germanic Europe. Brown color representing the Eastern Roman Empire. Okay? Germanic Europe include a variety of Germanic tribes, kingdom. Frank kingdom, Alemannic kingdom, Burgundians kingdom, Austro-As kingdom, Bis-As kingdom, Britain kingdom, Saxons kingdom, Vandals kingdom, etc. Okay, topic B. What is the Khazar Papism and how these Khazar Papism developed in the Byzantine governances? Okay. B, the union of a church and the union of a state. Number 1, Byzantine concept of Khazar Papism. Khazar Papism provided that all spiritual, regional, and political authority belongs to one single person of Byzantine emperor. That is the Byzantine concept of Khazar Papism. The Byzantine emperor, therefore, Byzantine emperor had both political power and the religious power. Political power as a Caesar, spiritual power as the Pope. Therefore, Byzantine emperor was the head, chief of the Byzantine church. The Eastern Patriarchy regarded the emperor in Constantinople as the leader of the church, unlike the Western Roman Church. Western Roman Catholic churches, the Byzantine Church has, Orthodox, the Byzantine Church has secular ruler. Khazar Papism became the pattern of Byzantine governances. Byzantine emperors claimed to be the equal of the apostle of the Jesus Christ. Byzantine emperor was the apostle of the Jesus Christ, believed as the apostle of Jesus Christ, followers of Jesus Christ. Section B, from Eastern Roman Empire to the Byzantium Empire. After the barbarian Germanic invasions destroyed the Roman Empire in the West, the center of the Roman Empire shifted east to Constantinople. It became the center of Byzantine Empire. Greek, Roman traditions, Byzantine feminists continue to educate their children in Roman language and Greek language, educate their children in Roman grammar and Greek grammar, and educate the children in Roman literature and Greek literature through the monasteries and through the private tutors. This education preserves the Greek-Roman cultures. However, in the West, Rome had been conquered by the Germanic tribes. These Germanic tribes had no written languages. Therefore, as civilization declined in the West, however, East continued to flourish as the new Rome in the Constantinople. In the Eastern Emperor, among the many Eastern emperors, Justinian was the greatest emperor. He extended the Eastern Empire to the maximum size of territory. Justinian came to power in 527 as an absolute ruler, autocrat ruler. As the first to codify the Roman law, Justinian provided the basis for the law codes of Western Europe. This became known as Justinian Code. Under the Justinian, the Byzantine Empire riches is held in the culture and prosperity. He conquered the former Roman territory in an effort to restore the New Rome to the earlier glory of Roman Empire. His wife was Theodora. After Justinian, his wife, Theodora, became the empress to rule of the Eastern Roman Empire. Contributed a lot of things in the East. Okay? Justinian works this spring autocrat. In the first 2 centuries after death of the Constantine Byzantine Empire, stability was challenged by outside threat and challenged by internal religious divisions. Emperor Justinian and his wife Theodora were determined to reunify both the church and the empire. Unlike the emperors such as Augustus, Justinian ruled without constraint. The code of Justinian not only united Byzantine world, but this code of Justinian had the lasting legacy and united much of the Europe in a single legal traditions. This code of Justinian was based on the principles of the Roman law, except the common law, such as the American law and England law. Most of the countries adopted the Roman law, German law, a written law. Only England and England territory and America adopted case law. Except that most of the countries adopted the Justinian code, Roman law. Justinian and his wife Theodora attempt to reunite the old Roman Empire. Justinian emperor was the last Eastern emperor to speak Latin. However, after that, Greek language was used in the Eastern Roman Empire. He raised Justinian words, competing in order to reclaim the ancient West Roman Empire. However, final failed. This slide shows Justinian and Theodora. Why? Theodora. Justinian was an autocrat ruler who has complete authority. Justinian ruled as an autocrat with the help of wife Theodora. He created the huge Christian empire. His empire reaches its greatest size. Okay. Justinian and his wife Theodora built Hagia Sophia in 537. Former name was Basilica of Saint Sophia. Original name Basilica of Saint Sophia was name changed in Hagia Sophia. Okay? This massive dome and greatest basilica was converted into the mosque after the Ottoman conquest. This slide shows the Empress Theodora and her attendant. Theodora, the 6th century Byzantine empress, was remembered as being one of the most powerful women in the Byzantine history. She was married to Emperor Justinian I. She used her power and influence in order to promote the religious policies and social policies. Empress Theodora was one of the first rulers to recognize rights of the female. Okay, next topic. Byzantine society. Constantinople's location gave the control of the trade route of Eastern Mediterranean. Therefore, Constantinople became the major trading center. Expansion of urban economy. Constantinople sat in the middle of a trade route and sea and in the middle of the land. Therefore, Constantinople's wealth came from the trade and came from its strong military. Constantinople remained secure, prosperous. However, the cities in the Western Roman Empire collapsed, crumbles. Social life of Byzantium. Christian church dominate empire, spiritual life, and the cultural life. For the Byzantine peasant social life centered on the religious services, holidays, and the family celebrations. This map 10-2 shows the Byzantine Empire during Justinian's reign, during 527 to 565. Brown color represented the Eastern Roman Empire before Justinian, but after the Justinian's conquest, the dotted brown color represents the territory gained by Emperor Justinian, bigger and bigger. This map shows Europe at the death of Justinian's wife, Theodoric, Empress Theodoric era. Okay. Okay. Section C, connections and the conflict in the Byzantine world. A Byzantine Empire faced threat. Some of the threat came from outside invaders, and some of the threat came from the internal conflict. Okay, this is and the warfare. Bubonic plague. This is of bubonic plague in the 7th century. The outbreak of the bubonic plague in 7th century killed about 25 million people in the Eastern Roman Empire. This outbreak of bubonic plague combined with the Islamic invasions left the Byzantium weakened. However, Byzantium not conquered by the Islamic invasions. Islamic expansions, Sasanian Empire advanced as far as the gate of Constantinople in 610s. The Arab armies turned their intention toward to the Byzantine Empire after the conquering the Persia in 642. Byzantine Empire survived the initial Arab onslaught. However, a large territory was lost to the Sasanian Empire. After the Islamic attack, the effect on the trade, effect on the woman was great. Woman or more confined woman subordinate to the man due to the effect of Islamic attack. Eastern Christianity cultures and conflict. Number one, sensuality of Christianity in Byzantine world. Christian church dominate empire, spiritual life, and the cultural life. However, there was a dictatorial quarters. These dictatorial quarters divide the Eastern Christendom and sometimes erupted into the violent conflict. The Great Schism of 1054 reflect the long-standing division between the Eastern Orthodox churches and the Western Roman Catholic churches. The difference between East and West: Monophysite and Nestorians. Monophysite emphasize the only one nature of the Jesus Christ. However, Nestorians emphasize two natures of the Jesus Christ. According to the Nestorians, Jesus Christ has a nature of human nature and divine natures. Two natures, have two natures. Dictatorial quarters. In addition that, the cultural differences and the political difference between the Eastern Byzantine and Western Roman Empire weakened the unity of the Christian church and led to its division in 1054. Western Church centered in Rome. Western Church used the Latin language in liturgy and accept the authority of the Pope. However, Eastern Church centered in Constantinople and Eastern Church used the Greek language in the liturgy, and Eastern Church accept the authority of patriarchy, not accept the authority of the Pope. Eastern Church prohibit the icons. Iconoclasts destroy the images. Okay. Byzantine culture continue practicing of Greco-Roman traditions. Byzantium used the Greek language as contrasted with Latin in the West. And Eastern Church is a Greek Orthodox Christianity. This Greek and Roman knowledge preserved in Byzantine libraries. This Byzantine civilization influenced the Russian, original Russian, Ruskiev, and Eastern Europe civilizations through its religions, through its culture, and through its trade. This slide shows the icon of the Saint Michael, the archangels. Western Catholic Church. Section 4. Byzantium's ascendancy and the decline. Byzantine Empire was reinvigorated during the Macedonian era, but continued to face foreign threat, foreign invaders. The most serious of foreign threat came from the Seljuk Turk. Okay, number 8. Why was the Macedonian dynasty so important in Byzantine history? Macedonian era from 867 to 1025. Basil first and founding of Macedonian dynasty. Basil I was the emperor of Byzantine Empire from 867 to 886 and established, founded Macedonian dynasty. This Macedonian dynasty lasted for over 200 years. Greek language became dominant in Byzantine Empire. War against the Muslims and territorial losses. Muslims first attempt to take the city, take the Constantinople city in 655. Muslims tried again in 669 and their after Constantinople came under intermittent Muslim attack several attempts to take this city in 670s were turned back when Byzantine defeat this Muslims attack at the sea barrier. Muslim attacks compare the wave of iconoclasm in the 720s Western Church worship the icon, however, used to destroy the icon. Due to the Muslims, a lot of attack, Byzantine Empire lost territory and became more isolated. Macedonian era. War against Bulgaria. Bulgaria was the major threat to the Byzantium in the late 900s. Byzantine and Bulgarian wars were a series of conflict. Have a lot of wars, have a lot of conflict between Byzantine and Bulgaria. Bulgars first settled in the Balkan Peninsula in 5th century. And Bulgars intensified with the expansion of Bulgarian Empire to the southwest after 680. Bulgarian, led by the Khuram, inflicted the series of classic defeats on the Byzantine. Prosperity and security in the 11th century. Macedonian dynasty brought a long period of political stability and the cultural dynamism. This map shows Byzantines fighting against the Bulgars. Okay. B. Turkey's conquest. Number 1. Seljuk. Turk. Threat by 1060s Seljuk Empire border Byzantine. Turks were minority. Turk, the ruling of Persian, Arab, and Kurdish majority. Seljuk Turk and Byzantine border. Number 2, truce between Byzantine and Turks. The Turks first proposed term of the peace to the Byzantine, but Byzantine emperors Romanos rejected the Turkish offer, and the two forces, Byzantines, two forces went on in order to wage the battle of Manchikert. However, Seljuk Turks captured the emperor, Eastern Emperor Romanos, and defeat the Byzantine Emperor Romanos at Manchikert Battle in 1071, and Seljuk Turk opened up Anatolia for the Turkish rule. The birth of Ottoman Turks Empire. The Ottoman first, and the Ottoman Seljuk was the Turkish tribe. The Ottoman first entered Anatolia as the Seljuk soldiers. However, due to the Mongol invaders divide Anatolia into many Amorite territory controlled by Amor. Therefore, Seljuk Sultan in Persia, Seljuk Empire in Persia, cornered by the Mongol invaders in the middle of Anatolia and reduced to the vassals. After that, Seljuk Turk was replaced with the Ottoman Turk. Osman first, the leader of Turkish tribes in the Anatolia, established, founded the Ottoman Empire around 1299, 1300. The Ottoman Turks completed Islamic conquest of Western Asia in 1453, before the conquest of Mongolian conquest. Ottoman Empire dominate, control, rule the West Anatolia. Okay, the end of Byzantine Empire. The Byzantine Empire drew to a close in 1453 when the forces from the Muslim Ottoman Empire surrounded and conquered Constantinople. After the conquest of Ottoman Empire, the ancient of Christian city Constantinople was renamed as Istanbul and became the capital of the Ottoman Empire. This map 10-3 shows the gradual retraction, diminishment of Byzantine Empire during 628 to 1328. Map A, B, and C shows the gradual retraction of Byzantine Empire until the conquest of the Ottoman Empire. Okay, section 5. Section 5. Keyboard roots connects to the Byzantine world. Kievan Rus was original homeland of current Russia. From its first emergence of Kievan Rus, Russian culture was profoundly infected by the Byzantine world. Okay, how did geography affect the Russian development? A. Russia's difficult climb on terrain. Russian territory stretched from Eastern Europe across Northern Asia. Russian territory was landlocked for most of its history. Russian territory, most of Russian territory is a free, temperate, ice-bounded This geography hinders the commerce, exploitations of natural resources. The landlocked and cold, the climate and the geography impede Russian development and tend to isolate the Russia. This map 10-4 shows the topography of Russia. Sky color represents tundra. Dark green color represents tiger, right? Green color represented mixed forest, right? Brown color represents steppe. Dark brown color represents the desert. B. Foundations and first period of Kievan Rus during 882 to 972. Number 1. Origins of Rus. Rus Vikings are known as Rus people. Finnish term. Rus translated into the Sweden. Okay? Rus people trade and raided along river route between the Baltic Sea and Black Sea between 8th centuries to 11th century. Rus people were a group of ethnically or ancestrally Scandinavian people, currently known as the Middle Sweden. Number 2, establishment and consolidation of state under the Viking Lordland. In 882, the Viking Lordland, the ruler of Novgorod from 879, seized the Kiev territory. Because Kiev has strategic locations on the Dnieper River. Dnieper River is the third largest and longest river in the Europe. And Viking Lordland founded the powerful state of Kievan Rus. Viking Lordland connected Kiev to the Constantinople through the Dnieper River. Okay, this map shows the Kievan Rus. Kievan Rus begun by the invasion of Viking tribes from north of the Baltic Sea. These Viking tribes were also known as the Slavs. Slavs people, Viking tribes, same meaning. Viking tribes both trade partner and sometimes the enemy of the Byzantine Empire. The traders from Kiev, Viking people, the traders from Kiev traveled down the Dnieper River in order to trade in a city of Constantinople. Kiev is present-day Ukraine. Ukraine was named as a Kiev in the ancient times. These Viking traders, these traders were the Vikings and Slavs. Slavs, or the people of the region in the north of the Baltic Sea. The name Slav comes from the slave, because many northern people in the Black Sea were sold in the Constantinople city as the slaves. Kiev would be one of the Russia's oldest civilizations. This map shows Dnieper River and Constantinople. The Kiev, Rus Kiev people trade through the Dnieper River to the Constantinople. Okay? Dnieper River was a third longest river in the river. Okay? Red line represented the trade route through the Dnieper River. This map shows the Viking River road to the Constantinople. Sweden, Viking people was Rus. Red arrow represents the Viking river road to the Constantinople. Okay? Okay, this map shows the homeland of Kievan Rus, where current Russia was born. Pink area represents the homeland of Kievan roots. Number 3, Kievan roots from 862 to 1242. Eastern Slavs organized Kievan roots, including Ukraine, Belarus, and dominate its successor states. Kievan roots, princes were often married into Byzantine imperial family, and Constantinople often employed the Eastern Slavs, princes, armies. Okay. Number 4, expansion and decline on the Syriac Slav. His decade-long reign of Rus was marked by rapid expansion through the conquest of Khazars and invasion of the Balkans. He waged the war against the Bulgaria, Khazars, and Pechenegs. He carved out the largest state in the Europe and moving his capital from Kiev from Pereyaslav on the Danube River in 969. Danube River is the second longest river in the Europe. Due to his abrupt death in 972, Sviatoslav's conquests were not consolidated into the functioning empire and not established in a stable succession. Read to the fratricide feud along his three sons fight and kill each other in order to seize the territory. Father's territory. This map, 10-5, shows the Kievan roots around 900. In 882, a Viking prince named Lordland seized power in Kiev and then proclaimed the mother of Russian cities. Lordland united Slav dwellings who scattered across the vast area that would then become known as the Kievan roots. Lordland, Viking prince Lordland, established the friendly relationship with the nearby Byzantium Empire and defeated everyone who threatened his rule. Okay? Brown color represented the Kievan Rus. Dark brown represented the Byzantine Empire. Light green color represent Abbasid, Caliphate, Muslim Empire. Second period, Vladimir, second period, from 980 to 1054 was summarized as the connection to Christendom. Vladimir's conversion to Christianity. He converted into the Christianity in 988 and Christianized Kievan Rus. Second period of Kievan Rus was the Kiev's most glorious period, most glorious era. This second period of Kievan Rus lasted from accession of Vladimir as a grand prince in 980 until 1054. Second period was, in this period, that tied connection between Kiev and Byzantine Empire, Roman Empire, were first formed. Byzantine cultural heritages. Byzantine Roman Empire's cultures enriched the Kievan society. The Orthodox Christianity linked Kiev to rich, dynamic Byzantine cultures. This slide shows the rulers of Kievan Rus. Vladimir I. Vladimir I, extreme warlike ruler of Kiev. He invited missionaries from Judaism, Islam, and Christianity in order to offer the lessons for conversions. Vladimir married the Byzantine emperor's sister. Vladimir brought Christianity and Greco-Roman civilization into the Russia. Yaroslav and peak of Kievan power. The prince Yaroslav ruled in Kiev from 1010 until his death in 1054. He ruled Kiev at the height of his power. Civil war and foreign invasions. Yaroslav had to fight against his brother for throne and killed his brother in order to be a king, and conquered numerous rebellions ranging from militant pagan revival near Sudan to the uprising of the various Finnish, Finland, today Finland, and Lithuanian tribe. He won foreign wars against Poland. Before his death, Yaroslav assigned his separated princedoms to his five sons. After his death, 5 sons, and killed each other. Chaos. This slide shows the rulers of Kievan Rus, Yaroslav, from 1010 to 1054. Yaroslav first created the Russian law code based on the Roman Justinian code. Yaroslav instituted the golden age of Kievan Russia. He built the churches and he built new capital city. He allied the Russia with the rest of the Europe by marrying his children to the European rulers. Third period from 1054 to 1240 before the conquest of Mongol invaders. This third period was referred as a period of the chaos and conflict. Quarreling successes. Vladimir decision to divide his land among his 5 sons. This condemned Kievan Rus to political turmoil and the civil war. This civil war and political turmoil among his 5 sons started in 1054. Number 2, raiding by Parovich and Sab of Kiev. Parovich were Turkey invaders from the steppes, Ukraine steppes. Parovich took advantage of these instability in order to attack the Kiev. Number 3, fragmentations into feuding principalities. Thus, the last period of Kievan Rus' history was marked by chaos and the conflict. Economy and society of Kievan Rus, agriculture and merchant. In all 3 periods of Kievan Russia, agriculture was the sources of Kievan prosperity, but Kiev was also involved in trade with Byzantium, Bulgaria, and Baghdad. Number 2, Byzantine influence. Byzantine Christianity played the profound role in Kievan society. Spiritual richness of Kiev, however, spiritual richness of Kiev could not prevent the state collapses. Number 3, cultural and commercial detachment. Dnieper River was so important to the Kiev. Dnieper River connected the city to the principal trade route to the southwest. Okay, the influence of Byzantine culture on Eastern Europe and the Russia. Trade route between the Black Sea and Baltic Sea. Kiev Russia adopted the Eastern Orthodox Christianity and adopted much of the Eastern Europe. Kiev Russia adopted Greek alphabet for the Slavic language by Saint Cyril. Okay? Saint Cyril and his brother Saint Methodius developed the new alphabet because they wanted to teach the Bible to the Slavs. The Slavs had no written language. Therefore, Cyril and Methodius worked to give the slave people as alphabet. This Cyrillic alphabet is still used today in Russia. At the end of early Russian civilization, number one, nomadic invasions. The Kiev Rus' forces attacked the Cumans, the Turkic nomadic people, but defeated. Number two, Rus Federation of Principalities. The Kievan Rus federations with the Viking were beset by the loyal fight for the power, but the crusade brought feud instability against the Kievan Rus. Number three, frequent civil strife. Recurrent civil strife left Kievan vulnerable to attack. In 1203, Prince Ruli captured and burned the Kiev city. In 1230s, different Rus' princes besieged and ravaged Kiev several times. Number four, repeated foreign attacks. In 1240, Mongols conquered and sacked the Kiev capital city, and Mongols finished the third period of early Russian civilizations. Okay, this map, this slide shows the Cyrillic alphabet. This Cyrillic alphabet is used today in the Russia. Okay. At the time of establishment of Kiev Rus, Russia people, Slav people had no language. Therefore, the Cyril, Saint Cyril adopted the Roman and Greek alphabet into the new language in order to teach the slave people in order to read the Bible. Okay. This slide shows the key date and development of the Byzantine Empire, number one, and number two. Please read this important key date and your home. Okay. Number three, also the Mongol conquest of Kiev at 1240. That is the finish of the Russian civilizations. Okay, Mongol ruled and dominated Russia over the 200 years and more. Okay, I finished the chapter 10. Okay, next week I will teach you.